Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, Alejo and I will meet each other here and discuss about astrology. And even sometimes the section start before we press the record button. Because, for example, like today, Alejo,
It's amazing.
could you share with us?
So just 5 minutes before we started recording, I started asking Rod about how to invest because I'm very bad with money. So I was asking him how to invest and how, because he of course he's an astrologer, so he knows financial astrology, which I don't know as an astrologer. So I was asking him how to invest, and we were talking about what you need to look at and these kind of things. And then we said, okay, let's start recording. And we realized that actually today is Mars in Taurus. So it's
Yeah.
so interesting uh, how the symbolic, how whatever we're gonna talk about actually gets constellated before, even if we're not aware of it, it just happens.
Yeah,
It's
it was so funny because I was planning the strategy for you to how to get more money. And we are going to talk about the Mars in Taurus.
yeah, amazing.
And that was so funny. That was so funny. So yes, today we are going to mention about Mars in Taurus, how they get job done, and also how they face the defeat. So let's begin, Alejo. How does a Mars in Taurus get job done?
So I would say it's almost the opposite of Aries. Mars
Yeah.
in Taurus might be very slow.
Hmm.
It's very slow in starting things and in doing what they want. There is this sense of awareness, perhaps, that things take time, that you have to
Hmm.
be patient. That also can be perhaps a sense of inertia. Maybe they will never start things unless you push them to do it. There's
Mm.
might be this sense of laziness around doing things. And I would say, I like this image. These people that come, this person, let's say, imagine this person gets a new job, they're assigned this small desk, but then maybe 1 or 2 months later, they started putting things in another desk. Then maybe 3 or 4 months later, so slowly, they start spreading their territory, and it's so slow that people don't realize what they're doing, but they're conquering. I would say
Oh,
this is the
wow.
image of Mars in Taurus. It's like it's slow in achieving what they want, but they get there. They get there. They are patient. And
Ouch.
also the idea of fixity, right? So they will not give
Hmm.
up. So you tell them, no, this is not going to work. And they say, okay. And they keep trying. No, this is
Yeah.
not going to work. They say, okay. So then in the end, at the end of their lives, people with Mars in Taurus, you see them and you're like, they were so successful. How come they were so lucky? And it's like, no, no.
Hmm.
They were successful because they didn't give up. They
Mm.
kept trying and trying and trying.
I agree. This is the Mars in the fixed time. Fixed time don't let things go easily. They once they hold something, they decide what they want. Mars in Taurus. Once they decide what they want, they are aim on it, and they are not going to give away easily because once they decide, once they better, they don't. I agree. One thing is they don't make a decision easily. They probably
Mhm.
were beginning with say no, deny everything. No, no, I'm not sure. No, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Until they say, uh, yeah, okay, I think I want this. Once they aim on it, they are not going to give away. They will just bang their hair, trying to until they fall over or until that things they get.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So then how they deal with this failure and defeat.
Well, I would say, Mars Taurus is not a sign that I would associate with craziness. I think in
Hmm.
general, fixed signs, maybe except Leo, but in general, fixed signs, they don't overreact. They usually, are quite
Ah,
contained because they're fixed.
yeah. Mm.
Um, and I would say, particularly Mars in Taurus is
Mm.
slow in reaction.
Hmm.
So probably I would say when they lose, they might not. I think they will not show it so openly if they feel
Mm.
bad or stuff, or if they feel failure. I actually might think they don't detect failure. They will think it's not that I lost; it's just that I haven't won yet, and I will keep trying. I will. there's more this kind of feeling like there's no sense of loss. It's just the battle is not over. I would say it's more this kind of feeling. Um, and I do, even though we're not talking about anger, we were talking about how Mars reacts when the Mars in Aries reacts in the last episode. I would say the Mars in Taurus, okay, it's slow in reacting. If they lose, don't piss them off because
Oh,
they are slow in reacting, but when Mars in Taurus reacts, you will not be able to. It's a bull. The bull
yeah,
is a placid. The bull is a placid animal. It's actually not an aggressive animal. People think it's aggressive because they think about the Spanish squares.
yeah,
But actually, they in these places, toreros and everything. They made the bullfighter made the bull become angry,
yes.
and that's why they are violent. Usually, if you go to a field and a bull, I was in Spain on the
Hmm.
beach, and there were a lot of bulls around on the beach
Hmm.
sleeping. It was not a dangerous situation. So usually
Mm.
they are kind, placid creatures. Now, if you
Mm.
make them angry, you're in trouble.
Yes, yes,
I would say the same thing. I think Mars in Taurus, if they lose, they're going to be okay. They won't take it
yeah,
personally. But don't try
yeah.
to push them too much because if they get angry, you will regret it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Which is true. I like what you say about they probably didn't recognize a lose or failure. They just like, I'm not success yet. I
Yeah.
still need more time. So they will still hang on it. Even other people say, come on, I give that 10,000 years ago. And they were just like, what?
Why would I
They
give
think,
up? This would be the why would I give
yeah.
up?
Why would I get out of it? Nothing wrong. I'm still trying it. Yeah, that is Mars in Taurus. I think their strength, their virtue is endurance. They will hang
Yes.
in there for 10,000 years, to be
Yes.
honest. Yeah.
Yes.
So, should we show an example? We may not going to talk about his anger, failure, or something, but this is a very interesting Mars in Taurus person.
Yes.
He,
So,
here we are.
okay, so this is Andy Warhol,
Yeah,
and he has Mars in Taurus,
yeah,
28 degrees.
yeah.
And it's interesting because his Mars is squaring Neptune,
Ah,
very tight square. I think it's interesting because he fought in the name of art, in the name of creativity, in the name of images, and the importance of images.
yeah.
And what I like about this, I don't know that much about his life, but
Hmm.
what I like about this idea of him having Mars in Taurus is the two things. First, as far as I know, his success was quite quick, so you wouldn't think it's Mars in Taurus. Uh,
Hmm.
but I like this idea of the slow motion in conquering stuff because
Yes.
his art was not in the museum. I mean, started perhaps in the museums, but his art conquered everyday life. His
Yes.
art
Yes.
changed the way we approach objects and decoration in our houses, and not only in our houses, in the supermarkets. This idea that his creativity expanded very slowly, perhaps. We didn't realize, but now we can't imagine going to a supermarket and buying, we look at a can of tomatoes and we decide which one to
Exactly.
buy based on the design.
Yes.
And this is Andy Warhol's.
Yes. I agree. When you mentioned about his success, I remember. I will remember that kind of thing, right? Yes, like you mentioned the thing, the design of a thing, and the things. It's like he's slowly and invades the Mars. He's slowly invading our everyday life, change our concept about what to stimulate our desire of food.
Hmm.
Because it's a thing you cannot test, so you don't know about this thing and that thing. But he trying to seduce you with the beautiful image, Mars square Neptune and Venus is in that the package, the beautiful of the thing, and the make you like, oh, maybe I should buy this. This look more beautiful.
Yeah. And I think, it has influenced art. I think it has influenced art in so many ways, like not only art, like the idea of pop culture, the idea
Yes,
of everything. Gay culture has an image, has an image around it.
Hmm.
Pop culture has an image around it, and all of the different tribes, if you want to call them, I don't know, collective communities,
Yeah,
they have created images about themselves, and these images, I think this need for that, this of creating images of identity, has to do with his work, with Andy Warhol's
yeah,
work. So I think the influence that he had is huge, even though many people don't even know about him, even though we might not recognize him. And I also like this idea of something that stayed, that persisted the course of time with
mm,
Taurus, something that gets
yes,
fixed, gets stuck.
yes. I agree. I agree. Because, like you say, you may identify few of Andy Warhol's work,
Yeah.
but you don't know it's done by him. And it's very easy to recognize because it was so popular in the shop or on TV, and you will recognize, oh, then you read, oh, that's Andy Warhol's work. And that's how you think, oh, so art could be commercialized too. you know,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
is really uh, Torian way to express themselves, to express them idea. It could be useful, but also, there is the value of the beauty and things like that. So, well, I think it's so interesting we talk about this Mars, and I mean, we put a famous people's chart, but we also talking about the very practical way how Mars in Taurus get things done, and how they face their defeat. Even we add a little bit extra about don't annoying them
Yes.
because you really want to run, but they will run faster than you in that
Yes.
chance. In that chance, okay. So, well, thanks everyone and Alejo join us for this interesting discussion about the Mars in Taurus. Next week we will move into next slide. Alejo, please tell us.
Gemini.
Mars in Gemini, how they going to get things done and how they going to deal with failure and defeat. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.